What would you do if you could no longer care for yourself as before? Would you choose a nursing home, long seen as safe and convenient, or explore other options that align with your values and needs? Old age is an inevitable chapter in life, but how we face it depends on the choices we make. Nursing homes have become the default for many when independence fades. But why? Perhaps it's the simplest solution, or a societal norm. While they provide material care, they often fall short of fulfilling deeper emotional and spiritual needs. Moving to an unfamiliar place, away from memories and loved ones, may not be the right choice for everyone. Rather than defaulting to a one-size-fits-all approach, we can consider creative solutions. Support from family, friends, or technology can help maintain independence and joy in the comfort of home, offering a more personalized and fulfilling alternative. Old age doesn't have to mean limitations. It's an opportunity to redefine how we live and enjoy life. Instead of following the conventional path, take the time to explore options that truly suit your needs. Every person has their own story to write, even in the later stages of life. Today, we'll explore 6 inspiring stories of individuals who chose resilience, creativity, and independence, proving that aging can be a time of renewal and self-discovery. Let's begin with the first story, the 92-year-old explorer. Can you imagine a 92-year-old living as a true explorer, embracing new experiences? Meet Mr. Thompson, who proves that age is just a number, and it's never too late for adventure. While many his age enjoy the quiet of home, Mr. Thompson chose thrilling adventures instead. Accompanied by his daughter, he traveled the world, not just to sightsee, but to truly live and savor life's moments. From Paris's romantic streets to Tuscany's fields and Greece's ancient ruins, his travels focused on authentic experiences. Staying in modest accommodations and connecting with locals, he fulfilled dreams he couldn't pursue in his youth. At 92, Mr. Thompson showed that determination can make any dream possible. His story reminds us that later years often offer freedom to explore without earlier life's constraints. Slowing down doesn't mean stopping. It's an opportunity to embrace life more deeply. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "It is not the length of life, but the depth of life." Whether you're 92 or 32, there's always room for new adventures if you take the first step. The best memories come not from what you own, but the stories you share. Like Mr. Thompson, let age inspire you to live fully and explore the wonders of the world. Pack your bags. The journey is waiting. Story 2. The Family Legacy. What truly makes a house a home? Is it the physical structure, or is it the love, memories, and connections that transform it into a place you never want to leave? Mrs. Mildred, an 84-year-old woman, shows us that a home is far more than walls. It's the heart of a life well lived. For over 50 years, Mrs. Mildred's house has been her sanctuary. It's where she raised her children, shared quiet moments with her late husband, and celebrated countless milestones. Every room holds cherished memories, making her home an irreplaceable part of her life. As age brought health and mobility challenges, her family suggested moving to a nursing home for care and safety. To Mrs. Mildred, this would mean leaving behind her life's essence. Instead, she adapted. Her daughter helped with chores, her grandchildren brought joy, and a part-time helper assisted with demanding tasks. These adjustments allowed her to maintain her independence and stay connected to her home. Mrs. Mildred's story reminds us that a home is not just a shelter, but a place of belonging. As Henry David Thoreau said, "The most valuable aspect of a house is not its shelter, but its sense of belonging." Staying in her home preserved her roots, strengthened family bonds, and brought her daily comfort. Familiar spaces offer unmatched stability, especially in old age. The sights, smells, and sounds of a beloved home, a favorite chair, morning sunlight, or a backyard garden bring profound peace and security. Her story teaches us that happiness often lies in the familiar. Each person's needs differ, but finding comfort and preserving cherished memories can make life more meaningful. Mrs. Mildred's journey is a testament to the enduring power of love, memory, and resilience. Treasure your home, not just for its physicality, but for the stories and heart it holds. Story 3. The 80-year-old tech-savvy grandma. Do you believe turning 80 means giving up independence and accepting limitations? Mrs. Ruth's inspiring story proves otherwise. At 80, instead of relying on others or moving to a nursing home, she embraced technology to maintain her independence and enhance her life. While many her age shy away from technological advancements, Mrs. Ruth saw technology as an ally. With the help of her grandchildren, she learned to use smartphones, tablets, and smart home devices, tools that initially seemed daunting. Her determination paid off as she mastered voice-activated systems that allowed her to control lights, adjust the temperature, and lock doors with simple commands. This saved her energy and provided a sense of security while living alone. A single button press connected her to family or medical assistance, ensuring help was always within reach. The most transformative aspect for Mrs. Ruth was how technology kept her connected with her family. She used video calls to chat with her children and grandchildren, watched her great-grandchildren grow, and even joined in virtual family game nights. These moments of connection brought her joy and a renewed sense of purpose, bridging the physical distance with her loved ones. Mrs. Ruth's story highlights how technology, when embraced, can empower older adults to maintain independence, stay connected, and improve their quality of life. Steve Jobs once said, "Technology is nothing if not a way to empower people and improve their lives." For Mrs. Ruth, it became a bridge to the outside world, helping her combat isolation, a common challenge for seniors that can negatively affect mental and overall health. Her journey teaches a valuable lesson. Age is not a barrier to learning, adapting, or preserving independence. If an 80-year-old woman can embrace and master technology to improve her life, so can we. Facing the unfamiliar may seem daunting initially, but it could be the key to living life on your terms, regardless of age or circumstance. Technology is not exclusive to younger generations. It's a tool for everyone, helping us maintain independence, nurture relationships, and live fulfilling lives. Mrs. Ruth's story is a reminder that stepping into the world of technology, even when challenging, can lead to monumental changes, giving you the freedom and purpose to thrive at any stage of life. Story 4. The bold decision of a retired teacher. As old age approaches, would you choose a quiet, familiar life, or embark on a new journey to find meaning and joy? Mrs. Hargrove, a 70-year-old retired teacher, chose the latter, proving that it's never too late to embrace change and create a fulfilling life. After decades of shaping young minds, Mrs. Hargrove faced a decision many seniors encounter: whether to stay in her familiar home or move elsewhere as her health and independence declined. While many of her peers opted for nursing homes, she made a bold and unconventional choice, moving to a vibrant retirement community. Her family initially disagreed, fearing she would feel isolated in an unfamiliar environment. But Mrs. Hargrove, driven by determination and a sense of adventure, trusted her instincts. The transition wasn't easy. She needed time to adjust and find her footing in the new community. Yet, within months, she discovered the decision was life-changing. Mrs. Hargrove quickly formed meaningful friendships and became an active member of the community, embracing opportunities that reignited her passions. One of the most rewarding parts of her new life was pursuing a long-neglected love: knitting. She began teaching knitting classes to fellow residents, creating a space where colorful yarn turned into scarves, blankets, and strong bonds. These classes provided more than just a hobby. They became a source of joy, connection, and purpose for Mrs. Hargrove and her students. Her story is a reminder that aging doesn't mean retreating into isolation. On the contrary, seeking out community and embracing shared experiences can transform your later years into some of the most fulfilling of your life. Studies confirm that social interaction improves mental health and increases longevity, while participating in community activities fosters a sense of belonging and reduces the risks of depression and dementia. Mrs. Hargrove exemplifies the idea that it's never too late to seek joy and meaning. Her decision to step out of her comfort zone brought her new friendships, revitalized her passions, and gave her a renewed sense of purpose. She shows us that age is no barrier to growth, and that choosing connection over isolation can lead to a truly rewarding life. Instead of isolating herself in a nursing home, Mrs. Hargrove found a place where she could thrive, surrounded by people who shared her interests and values. Her bold choice serves as an inspiring reminder that no matter your age, you can still decide how to live your life. Embrace change, seek out community, and don't be afraid to step into the unknown. You may just discover the most meaningful chapter of your life. Story 5. The Independent Elder. What would you do when old age brings limitations to your body and health? Would you move into a nursing home or find a way to live on your terms? Mr. Joe, an 85-year-old with a strong independent spirit, chose the latter, refusing to give up his freedom and familiar life. Throughout his life, Mr. Joe cherished his routines: morning walks in the neighborhood, tending his garden, and afternoons spent reading. These small joys defined his days. When his family grew concerned about his declining health and suggested a nursing home, Mr. Joe declined, unwilling to leave the home, neighborhood, and peace he had built over many years. Instead, he found a middle ground. A caregiver visits a few times a week, and his children and grandchildren check in regularly. This support allows him to continue his routines and maintain his independence. Whether strolling familiar streets, chatting with friends at the cafe, or nurturing his flower beds, Mr. Joe embodies resilience and determination. His story reminds us that independence is vital, regardless of age. Living in a familiar environment improves mental health, enhances quality of life, and can even extend longevity. Old age doesn't mean giving up autonomy. It means finding creative solutions to adapt while preserving one's identity. Mr. Joe's example shows that the safest solution isn't always the best. With family, friends, and community support, it's possible to overcome challenges while honoring personal values. Life in old age can remain fulfilling and vibrant if lived on your own terms. Independence is not just a right, it's a strength that allows you to thrive, no matter your stage in life. Story 6. The Gardener Who Never Stops Learning and Growing. What would you do if your greatest passion became too demanding for your aging body? This is the story of Mr. Clark, a 79-year-old gardener who found a way to sustain his love for gardening despite physical limitations. For years, Mr. Clark's expansive garden, filled with vibrant flowers, fresh vegetables, and fruit trees, was his pride and joy. But as time passed, tasks like tilling, watering, and pruning became too strenuous. Concerned for his health, his family suggested he give up gardening altogether, a heartbreaking idea for Mr. Clark. Refusing to let go of his passion, he chose to adapt. Downsizing his garden into a smaller, manageable space, he focused on low-maintenance plants and simple flower beds. This change not only eased his workload, but brought him peace and renewed joy. He cherished tending to his plants each morning and watching them thrive, proving that simplicity can enhance fulfillment. His smaller garden also became a gathering place for his family. It allowed his grandchildren to learn about nature and witness his determination to keep growing and learning. His family was inspired to see him happier than ever, despite the reduced scale of his beloved garden. Mr. Clark's story teaches us that age doesn't mean giving up on what you love. It's about adapting to continue pursuing joy. Whether gardening, painting, or playing an instrument, simplifying your approach can help balance passion and ability. As Henry David Thoreau said, Simplicity is the foundation of all eternal beauty. By downsizing, Mr. Clark preserved his passion, improved his quality of life, and created a meaningful space for his family. His story is a powerful reminder that age is not a limitation, but an opportunity to rediscover and renew your interests. Adapt, simplify, and embrace life's small yet meaningful joys, just as Mr. Clark transformed his garden into a work of art. Through these 6 inspiring stories, one message is clear. Old age doesn't mean giving up joy, independence, or purpose. Instead, it's a stage to redefine ourselves, adapt, and embrace life's deeper values. Adaptability is key, as seen in Mr. Clark, who simplified his gardening to sustain his passion. Similarly, Mrs. Ruth embraced technology to maintain her independence and stay connected with family, proving that it's never too late to learn something new. Mrs. Hargrove's vibrant community life highlights the value of social connection. By teaching knitting and building relationships, she rediscovered energy and purpose. Meanwhile, Mr. Thompson, at 92, and Mr. Joe, choosing independence in his familiar home, remind us that age is just a number. Willpower and spirit are what truly matter. These stories show that no matter your life stage, you can adapt, find meaning, and create lasting memories. Which story resonated most with you? Have you had a similar experience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more inspiring content. Live in a way that fulfills you, because the best days are always ahead.